Whew. Good morning, everybody. I feel like you get smaller and smaller down there.
I
Maybe it's the haircut.
I'll tilt it a little bit.
Maybe it's the haircut because your hair is shorter, right?
It is. I mean, as
Yeah.
of like last week or whatever.
I'm not very good with these things.
We just let it grow a certain amount, shave it, bring it back. I don't remember the
Hey,
last time I've been to a barber.
you do it yourself?
Becca does it.
Oh, okay. That's your wife. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the LPTV Disney Morning Show. My name is Doobie Mosley. I'm the co-founder of Laughing Place, 52 years old. The man over there is Kyle Burbank, managing editor of Laughing Place, and 30.
Money at 30?
30. Huh?
Money
No,
at 30?
I gave my age as 52. What's your age?
52. Okay, 37.
37 years old. So, yeah, it's just showing the generations can all get along. And we are here to get your Disney morning, your Disney day started the right way with some news, some fun, and stuff like that. If you'd like to participate, that's what the comments are for. So let us know what's on your mind. Gio, hey, howdy, hey, nice to see you this morning. We are going to start today's show similarly to how we start every day's show, with a look at the business side of Disney. Kyle, yesterday it was in the range of 102 right about now. What do you think it is right
Down a little.
now? Yeah, it's basically flat.
Basically flat. It's actually up a little bit. If you said 102, I don't know what the 102 was, but
It was yesterday at this time. All I write down is a round dollar figure for where it was this time yesterday.
okay.
That's what it was. And then 24 hours later, it is about the same. Although the pressure is on. Bernie Sanders said, Disney, give your people $18 an hour. Do you think Disney is going to cave to pressure like that?
I no, because they still have to negotiate with the union, so it's not like they're just like, okay, fine. Although I did, obviously I put it in an article several years ago when Bernie was running for president. His big thing was $15, which is what Disney's at. But I typed in the inflation calculator that the Bureau of Labor Statistics has, and $15 in January 2020 is actually about $17.50 today. So I actually thought that was interesting. That's how much it's gone up.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, and the labor situation at Disney is they're still negotiating, and we'll see how that turns out. But so far, the union is saying, Disney, you got a long way to go. But for the fun side of Disney, you got to go to the parks, and when you do, you got to know how to dress, and that's why we give you. How's it looking?
Good morning, everyone. Casual Kyle here in Springfield, Missouri, where there's a chance of severe weather today, but let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening in Disney's neck of the woods. In Anaheim, overcast and windy today with sustained winds above 20 miles per hour that will make their 56-degree high feel more like 50. In Orlando, with a definite doobie day, they'll get up to 88 degrees with sunshine and humidity making it feel even a degree or two warmer. In Castaway Cay, they'll spend most of the day right around 80 degrees, cooling to the mid-70s after dark. In Paris, they're at 45 degrees and cloudy, with rain expected to move in the coming hours. Thunderstorms in Tokyo right now, and they'll have some lingering showers in the morning, but it'll be partly cloudy after that as they warm their way to the mid-50s. In Shanghai tomorrow, temps in the 40s with rain expected to move into the afternoon and last through the overnight. Finally, in Hong Kong tomorrow, it'll be sunny with a high of 70. And that's what's happening in the Disney world of weather. Now, back to you in the studio, and happy birthday, Matthew.
Oh, you got to leave an extra second for the fade. But happy birthday, Matt. That was awesome. So is that just a birthday thing now?
I literally put that together. I finished editing it while we were having our morning meeting. And yeah.
That is beautiful. I love that. I'll have to play that again later. So that was your weather report, one of these special ones that Kyle pre-records and does all professionally. I like casual Kyle.
I used Adobe's AI voice enhancing tool for my audio, so it sounds a little weird. But
it sounded good, though.
It sounds good, but like it probably would have been better if I synced it up a little bit. But
I would love to hear the before and after on that.
You should try that tool. It's pretty cool. I sent you a link.
You did. I saw. I have a Mac-tastic birthday, Mac. That's clever. We're actually going to have Mac on the show a little later to talk about Zacks of Life. Zacks of Live that premiered yesterday on YouTube and had a pretty fun drafting place. We're going to talk to him just for a short time later on in today's show. But first, we actually have some news that broke just before we went live. Kyle, what you got? Wrong button. There we go.
Yeah, it's showing off the new villa. So they're adding a DVC tower to the Disneyland hotel, although I don't think they like you to call it DVC tower, but it's mostly DVC rooms. And we're getting a first look inside of them. I actually haven't seen the photos yet, so let's take a look
So
together. It's
got the
obviously
Jungle Book.
Book. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, interesting choice. I don't believe they've announced a Jungle Book movie or sequel or anything upcoming. It's from the 60s, and yet here it is.
Well, what I think, well, we'll see about the rest. The three towers that exist currently are the Fantasy, Adventure, and Frontier. So maybe this new tower will kind of tie in those other three themes.
Well, let's find out. That was the Jungle Book. Next up, we have
Frozen, maybe?
That's a great question.
Looks pretty Frozen to me.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. All right. Well, what do I know?
I don't see it either.
Fantasy. So far, so good. We need a Frontier one. So bust a move. Right. Come on.
Next up, we have Fantasia.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. This is
sleek.
I would love to have
it's like
this for sale. I hope they sell this print. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. And then we have Princess and the Frog theme here.
Kind of.
That's cool. Kind of. You know.
Not really. There's a poster, but then there's Mickey. I guess that's just a TV, though.
Yeah, that's just the television. See, so Kyle, televisions, the image can change throughout the day, even second to second. So.
Yeah, but when you make it the focal point of your concept art, it's a little confusing when you're just scrolling through, Dewey.
This is the multi-level, 3-bedroom multi-level suite. Oh my goodness, look at this thing.
Ooh, LP Summit.
That is the first thing that came to my mind too. Absolutely, that is beautiful. So these are opening in September. These are DVCs, as you said. Yeah, this is inside the multi-level again.
That actually looks similar to the one at Bay Lake, except for the fireplace. But like
from here, it does.
Yeah,
but that exterior, that's
some Tony Stark stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe that's the suite it is, the Tony Stark suite. So this opens in September. Let's get a better picture on there. This opens in September of this year. Reservations are almost here. DVC can start registering on March 15th. Magic key holders on March 16th, and the rest of us on March 17th. So that is looking cool. I mean, the Disneyland Hotel has had 3 towers. I know it opened with just the garden wings. I can't remember if it added all 3 towers at once. I think it did, and I think it added a 3rd tower later, but I'm not 100%. But it's been this way for decades, so it's going to be interesting to see a 4th tower, especially considering how different it looks from the rest of the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah, the last big change was when they got rid of like Hooks. Was it Hooks Point or whatever?
Yeah.
And brought in like Tangaroa Terrace and all of that, and made it blue. That was a long time ago now.
And the last room change.
When I first started going to Disneyland a
lot. The last room change was when they got rid of the garden wings to make way for Downtown Disney. So it's been a long time since they've added rooms to the Disneyland Hotel. Pretty exciting stuff, I think. In the world of Star Wars, we are 1 week away from the debut of season 3 of Mandalorian, which is really exciting. And are you excited about this, Kyle?
I am. It'll be nice that's the type of show that we will get up a little bit early on Wednesdays to watch before jumping into our workday. Lest we have a channel where people talk spoilers, so I haven't been spoiled. But sometimes we run into things doing our job, so it's nice to get it covered first.
Kyle's not the type to say, no, I have to stay spoiler free. I must stay off the internet until I see Mandalorian, despite the fact his entire job consists of being on the internet all day long. So, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate the effort. Rebecca says they could put all these under an IP wing and call it Inspire. I don't think they could. Just my opinion. All right, so anyway, season 3 of Mandalorian is 1 week away, and today Disney has released new character posters. We can take a look at those. Share this tab instead. And there is Mando and Baby Yoda. His name is Grogu. No, his name is Grogu.
That was really good.
And then we have Bo-Katan. Oh, look at me, able to read up there. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I actually just remembered it now. It's part of myself.
All right. Here you go. Who is it?
Carl Weathers.
Apollo Creed. That's right. That is
Tobias's acting coach.
Grief Garga. Is he really?
It's a Arrested Development thing. It's
dang it. By the way, Creed 3 is coming out soon too. No relation to this, but coming to theaters. And
directed by Michael B. Jordan and starring Jonathan Majors.
Michael B. Jordan. They seem to really be following the Rocky arc. 1 was great, 2 was good, 3 they bring in this mean guy to challenge him when he thinks he's on easy street. Hopefully 4 is just as good, and then they don't go down 5 the way Rocky 5 really just went off a cliff.
Is 4 the one that has Eye of the Tiger?
No, 3 has Eye of the Tiger.
3, okay.
Apollo
so
Creed.
Did they write the Eye of the Tiger? Like, is there an equivalent that we're going to get in this movie?
Well, first of all, there will never be another equivalent to Eye of the Tiger. Watch your mouth. But I don't know if they did a similar song to get going. But yeah, Apollo Creed had to teach Rocky to get the Eye of the Tiger back. He was just skating along fighting tomato cans. So
here comes Beard Face.
All right. First of all, I appreciate my wife yelling his role at the screen, but we need to add the "not me" to the list of banned terms here on Laughing Place. Dude, VP of alcohol down there swigging before he comes on the air. It's my birthday. I'll drink if I want to. And then we just got confirmation from Jon Favreau. Did you see this one, Kyle?
Yeah, he says season 4 of the show has already been written so that it, does so that the stories all match up with what they're doing with Ahsoka and the other things coming. So yeah, it's presumably going to be greenlit. I don't think we have an official word on season 4, but I can't imagine that if he wants to make it, they'll say no, unless he's going to say, well, it's going to take $50 billion to make a season of television.
I mean, this is Jon Favreau saying this. He's not just anybody as a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and some people, not necessarily me, might even consider him to be on the Mount Rushmore.
He's a Disney legend, don't you know?
Disney legend and an ultimate fighter. So yesterday yesterday was a busy day. We had 4 live shows yesterday. Pretty exciting. I think today we only are scheduled to have 2. We have this one. We're going to have a walk and talk later from Animal Kingdom. But yesterday we had 4. This one, Zacks of Live, the premiere of that. We had Barely Necessities and then Disney Trivia Live. So we're actually going to have Mack on to talk about the first episode of Zacks of Live, which is exciting because we'll have both hosts right here on this show. But first I wanted to talk about Disney Trivia Live. I think this is something I need to make a part of the show. Recognize the winners. So yesterday we had 2 contests. Our first one was Spouse of Mouse 2, written by the Honorable Nick Morgan. And our second one was Name That Scene, written by me, which I thought was kind of fun. It was just a still from a movie, and you had to name what song was being sung during that still, which was not as easy as I expected it to be. So we had 2 winners. Our first winner... I'm going to skip that. Our first winner was Madame Leota. Now, there was some controversy. Uncle Orville accused Madame Leota of cheating. She did not have evidence, but nevertheless, we take all these things seriously. It's still under investigation. Right now, we plan to just send them 1 magnet cut in half, and they can choose how they want to handle that because they are brother and sister, I believe. So, and then our second contest was won by the one and only Gio, who is in every single show we do, and we appreciate it very much. So that's Disney Trivia Live every Tuesday and Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
So do we need a DTL debrief bumper?
Yes, that would be a good idea. Yes. Maybe, someday maybe we can get to the point where you actually have a winner on and say, how does it feel to have won Disney Trivia Live? What was going through your mind?
Only if you win both contests. We have rules.
We have rules. So congratulations to you two. I hope people will come join us at Disney Trivia Live. It's a lot of fun out there. I mean, it's a lot of fun. There's trivia sometimes. It's mostly just a fun show. And then Zacks of Life. Let's go ahead and wait for him to stop drinking. Go ahead and bring on the one and only Mack. How you doing, Mack?
Hi.
It's going. I'm looking for it. There we go. This is Mike Mack. He is the, give me your title.
I don't know anymore. I've been given so many
VP of
different
growing beards.
VP.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely Mike C. I can't take that title.
Well, that's why you're growing beards. He's the VP of
Okay.
having a beard.
Is the beard here to stay? Because I really like clean-shaven Mac.
Wow. Okay. All right. I don't know. Honestly, I've been debating it pretty much so we'll see.
Yeah, I went through my phase, and in hindsight, it was a mistake. So I'm not saying that's the case for you, but it is. All right, so we wanted to have Mac on to talk about a little bit about the debut of Zacks of Live yesterday. He's our Marvel guy, and that's our Marvel podcast. But most importantly, we wanted to have Mac on so we could sing to him. So Kyle, please do the honors.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Wow, this is incredible. Happy birthday, dear Michael.
Wait, what did you say, Michael?
I said Michael. I changed it up. I realized his name is Michael.
So, HBD, the very
you
least
have to
we could
stretch the one syllable to two. He has a two-syllable name. I could just put that in.
What are you doing? It's like a four-syllable name.
I wanna do something special.
All right, Matt. And so I introduced myself this morning as 52. Kyle's 37. If you care to, you can share your age.
33.
Dang, I hate you.
Oh, he's in the club.
I truly do. All right, happy birthday. Everyone loves Mac. Happy birthday. Oh, I love that this HBD thing has caught on so much.
Happy birthday to you.
HBD, the very, very least you could do to wish someone a happy birthday has now become an LP tradition.
You could like someone else's HBD comment, which I'm counting on later on. So,
as we established.
All right, Mac. So Zacks of Live yesterday. Tell us, for people who don't know, what is Zacks of Live?
Well, Zacks of Live is what we are jokingly calling the live version of the Zacks of Life podcast. Which is our Marvel podcast hosted by myself and Kyle, where we break down some Marvel news. We break down whatever Marvel content has come out in the past week. So whenever there's a series going on Disney Plus or whenever there's a new movie, and then we play some games, and it's loaded with a whole bunch of nonsense too. So it's fun.
What is your shirt?
It's Miss Minutes.
That's what I thought, but I don't remember her saying who doggy.
I don't know if she ever has either. I'm not sure, but
is that one of those? It looks like it changes in the sun. Does it turn orange in the sun? Because that'd be pretty cool.
You know, I don't know if I've ever actually worn it outside. So
Mac doesn't like to get his stuff dirty. He only wears his clothes indoors. Outside, well, that didn't come out right, but you know what I mean.
As you can see there, I break out the fancy microphone for the podcast. Here, y'all get the internal mic because that thing takes up a lot of room on my desk.
Yeah, so this is now live, and they record it live and broadcast it on LPTV. For some reason, they don't embed it in the article on Zacks of Life, so I had to go search for it, Kyle. But you can also subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast feed thingy. Why do people go through that? Everyone knows how to get their own podcast. No one needs to know, go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Everyone knows how to get a podcast. And then later on, so what exactly is normally on the show? What are the segments that you have?
Yeah, so like I said, we open up with news. We open up with some nonsense typically, which now that the podcast is live and I'm not cutting out most of our nonsense, it's Zacks of Life now with more nonsense. But some news, we break down like this. For example, yesterday's episode, we broke down Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And then we get into our game. So how much is that cameo? Typically is the first one we play. And then we always do a Marvel-themed draft. So in yesterday's episode, it was a MCU Mount Rushmore, which Doobie joined us for, which was fun.
Yeah, so the highlight of the show, as far as I'm concerned, was when I came on the show and we did a Mount Rushmore of MCU actors and creators. So you've previously done characters. Now we did actors and creators. So there's going to be a tweet later on today where that'll be tweeted by Laughing Place as well as Zacks of Life podcast, where you can vote on who had the best Mount Rushmore, which is me. But can you give each of our Mount Rushmores now so people can have time to digest and analyze?
Really get into the numbers of everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So I'll start with Kyle. Kyle has Samuel L. Jackson, Johnny Favs, Jon Favreau, Brie Larson, and then the writing duo, which we bend the rules a little bit for them here, of Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. I have Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Ryan Coogler, and Tom Hiddleston, and Doobie has Ben Kingsley, Guy Pearce, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kit Harington. That was his. No, Doobie has Kevin Feige, Chadwick Boseman, Lizzie Olsen, and Chris Hemsworth. So
Lizzie Olsen. Mack is so tight with everybody.
Johnny Krabs and Lizzie Olsen.
Lizzie Olsen. So clearly I am the winner, but we're going to go through the formalities anyway. Check that out.
Doobie did draft first because we let the guests choose which position. I think people sometimes forget that, like, why would you choose this person over this person? It's like, because it's a draft. That's how it works.
It's a snake draft. In the second round, I chose last, so it all evens out.
It's true. And I did specifically take Scarlett Johansson just to spite Doobie because I couldn't let him get Kevin Feige and have his favorite pick for any draft. So, or he didn't take Doorman, so that's a thing.
I'm glad you did, though, because I really think that Elizabeth Olsen was a better choice considering her Disney Plus contribution. So you actually helped me out there.
I did think he was going to try to go for Doorman. I thought he was going to be like, well, you know, he opened the door to the whole MCU. We just don't know about it.
He's just drafting a guy that opened the doors for the studio and just, you know, call him Doorman.
He might have been in She-Hulk somewhere. We don't know.
Right.
Doorman could be anywhere, and we don't. Yeah. I saw an article. That's Zacks of Life. So when is that normally out?
That's a good question because we're still figuring out the whole live schedule thing. But we do only release episodes after there's some new Marvel content. So unlike Who's the Boss, which is a weekly release, we wait until there's some new Marvel content for us to break down in way too much detail. And then, we'll release an episode the week after. Typically it releases on Mondays, but we'll see how that goes again with the live shows.
I love the way
around Guardians.
I love the way Mack on his birthday just sitting here throwing shade. Unlike Who's the Boss podcast, we only do a show when we actually have something to talk about.
No. We cannot possibly keep up with the hosting abilities of Mike C. and his. Look, the guy has a panel at Star Wars Celebration because of this podcast, so he knows what he's doing there. We're just trying to keep up.
That is a good point. He's got the ultimate right there. Before we let you go, I saw there was some Marvel news this morning. I will let you, if you're familiar with it, just kind of clue people in as to what this is.
Oh yeah, the XMen 60-year. What are they calling it? The 60 years of Uncanny. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's a live virtual event hosted by Marvel Unlimited. So annual subscribers to Marvel Unlimited can get into this virtual event. It's going to have all sorts of different X-Men related guests like Chris Claremont, Jonathan Hickman, Jerry Dugan, a whole bunch of different writers. Also, the creators of the X-Men the Animated Series will be there and talk about their experience with the show. This is coming up. March 16th.
March 16th.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. X-Men 60 Uncanny Years. There you go. That's what it was. And registration will be opening soon. Marvel Unlimited subscribers will get an email with the way to sign up for that event.
Are you going to be covering this for LP?
I would think so. I've covered the previous ones they've done for like the 60 years of Spider-Man, and they did a special Deadpool event too. So yeah, probably.
Having seen Chris Claremont speak at conventions before, I have no idea how he's going to participate in a panel and stay on topic. This could be very interesting to watch.
It could be. It might be a pre-recorded thing from some of the guests too. So we'll see how they handle that. But I'm excited to hear from specifically the creators of the animated series, especially with the X-Men 97 coming up. And then, some of the writers as well. Jonathan Hickman specifically with his the direction the X-Men have been going in for the past few years has been created by him. And it seems like they're heading for a big shakeup. So I'm interested in what he has to say.
They're going to grab a brush and put a little makeup.
What I thought about having you do on the show, Mack, I should have done it, is have you do the news from the way you did it on Zacks of Live yesterday. That was one of the most entertaining things I've seen on this channel.
Well, that only works when you have like 2.5 months of news to catch up on. And since you guys do this show Monday through Friday, it might be a little bit difficult.
I was just going to have you repeat the one you did yesterday. That was so awesome.
I'm about to get my books back on my desk.
Read this. read this. That's great. Go watch the first 5 minutes of Zach's Live at least. It'll get you hooked because that was really awesome. And then yesterday you guys went in depth on Quantumania. So you guys really went a nice spoiler discussion of it, which was really entertaining that I watched since I haven't seen it yet. And now I really have a sense of whether I need to or not. So, Zach's Live. Thank you very much, Mack, for joining us. And any big birthday plans today?
Just going out to dinner. Nothing special.
Anywhere in particular?
Yeah, Tin Roof Orlando. Sure, I'll plug the restaurant.
Tin Roof Orlando. Do they give you like a Paizuki or something at the end because it's your birthday?
Did they give me a what at the end?
Pizookie.
You don't.
No, sorry.
It's a cookie.
You know what a Pizookie is?
It's a cookie in a pizza tin. So you get like a thick cookie with ice cream.
Okay, I gotcha. You're just combining the words. Okay, gotcha.
I'm not combining
That's
the
what
words.
they call it.
Everyone knows what a Pizookie is.
I don't think everyone. Can we get comments in here? I don't think everyone knows what a Pizookie is.
Oh,
I
It sounds like a foreign-made car, is what it sounds like.
I think everyone knows what a Pizookie. If I know and Kyle knows, everyone knows. We have no.
Kyle knows most
cultural
things, so I can't use him as a barometer.
Doobie, can you guess what I said when Mac told me he was eating a tin roof?
Busted.
Doobie.
I guess we do have some common cultural references. All right, thanks, Mac. Back to work. We're taking your time. See ya.
Bye.
Gideon Mosley absolutely knows what a Pizookie is, so I don't know what Mac's problem is. All right, let's move to Epcot. We haven't talked about Disney World yet this morning. And yesterday we put up an article showing off Duffy has come to Epcot and his friends over in the China Pavilion. They have added some displays showing Duffy and friends. Aren't they adorable? You a big Duffy fan, Kyle?
Not so much Duffy, but his friends.
Which one? Lena Bell, Sheila May, Shelly May?
I really like, Lena Bell's new. I do have a Lena Bell. And there's Olumel. I have one of him as well. Probably Stella Lou's my favorite. Gelatoni is also really cute.
Sorry, we have been interrupted here by something very, very important.
Now, just a minute.
Paizuki is a trademark of BJ's restaurant. That is not the generic name for cookie in a tin, apparently.
Well, I've had it at BJ. I'm pretty sure there's other places. The one that I think my first Pizookie was actually at a place called Oregano's in Phoenix.
Did they call it Pizookie?
I guess they call it a pizza cookie now that I'm looking at it. Maybe they had to change because maybe Tony's right. But yeah, and if you search Pizookie, the first thing that comes up is BJ's. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's spread since then.
Tony never gets this technically wrong. Thank you, Tony, for keeping us on the straight and narrow. I appreciate it very much. He is my favorite person in the world. Here's some more of those friends. Duffy, Cookie Ann, Gelatono, and Stella Lou. They're so adorable. So you can check this out at the China Pavilion at Epcot right now. I like when they just do little tiny changes like this. Nothing big, no fanfare. Let's just put something new in the pavilion. And you can read this article on Laughing Face.
I guess it was actually there for Lunar New Year. So
yeah,
a little late to the game, but who goes in there? It's been the same for like 6 years.
I know that seems like one of those places they can make a change and just see how long it takes anyone on the internet to notice.
Well, yeah, because they're like, here's a Shanghai Disneyland preview center that's going to last until the park is like 10 years old.
So Nikki B has a great question. Are there Chicago pizza style Paizukis? Because Paizukis in general are relatively thin. I love the idea of a thick Pizookie.
Yeah, I mean, they vary, but yeah, the idea is that it's like mostly cooked but still a little soft, but you don't, if you make it too thick, it's just going to be like too crummy on the sides and then or be like completely raw on the inside. So you got to hit that balance, so they can't make it too thick, I would think. This is the Disney news you came here for.
For people who don't know, I do feel an obligation to show Paizukis, Mack specifically. This is what a Paizuki is. Comes a little tin, ice cream on top. My favorite flavor is white chocolate macadamia nut, but they also have, I think, a double
Stop
chocolate.
naming nuts.
Who does that? That's someone's routine.
That's from Best in Show, where he's talking about, that's when my mom would lose it, when I got the macadamia nut.
And over, that's really all the East Coast news we have. Yeah, there was a lot yesterday, but not much happening overnight today. And then, oh man, never mind. We also have this story, which for some reason I thought was West Coast, but it's East Coast. So I'm a big Disney fan. I know a lot of the little events they have going on. I know about the Halloween parade at Fort Wilderness. I know about the canoe races. I had no idea for 10 years they've been doing a cast member Mardi Gras parade at Port Orleans French Quarter. Did
Makes
you
a
know
lot
that?
of sense, doesn't it?
It does, but a lot of things make sense that they don't do. So
So here's the thing. I kind of knew that they did this, but my thing is I never really know when it's Mardi Gras. Like I can't count. I don't know when Easter is, let alone count 40 days from then. Like, that's just a lot of work. So it's usually like, oh, I see people are celebrating. And my friend I saw pictures from her. She posted in New Orleans this past weekend. I go, oh, I guess Mardi Gras must be coming up. That's
everyone
all
in
I know.
Florida knows what it's Mardi Gras because everyone from Louisiana goes to Florida and the parks
Okay,
get
did you
really,
know
really
that was a
crowded.
thing before Jeremiah said so, or are you just repeating what he is saying?
I used to live in Florida,
Okay.
but no, I did not. No, I feel like I've heard. I feel like I've
Fraud.
heard that before. I've
Okay.
heard that before. I've forgotten, but I have heard that before. I've forgotten most things I've heard before. It's a byproduct of being 52. So that was cool. I've seen like I don't know if they do it anymore, but one of the little things like that is we once went to the China Pavilion on Lunar New Year. They had a full-on Lunar New Year little celebration party thing with like the snake and all. I mean, sorry, the dragon and all that. It was really cool. So again, it's the little things. They don't get a lot of fanfare. Very cool. Apparently, sometimes when you go to American Adventure on your birthday and they see your birthday button, they'll sing to you the what's the name
Happy
of the
birthday.
band, Kyle? What's
Oh,
the name
the
of the
Voice of
group?
Celebrity?
The Voices of Liberty. Yes, when
I'm
they
sure there's
sing
only
in
like 50 videos of them on our YouTube channel you can check out.
when when they sing in the rotunda, they see a birthday button. Maybe they'll sing Happy Birthday to you. How cool is that?
It was very cool.
And then we found out yesterday that Star Wars Celebration, which is coming later on this year in London, and
In
actually it's just a couple
London?
months away.
That was my friend's impression.
You have so many references that I just don't get. It's embarrassing to me. And I know Friends very well. It's not going to be around in 2024. It will be returned in 2025. And my understanding is this has always been usually been an every other year thing, but it used to be opposite the expo. But now it seems like this year they had it the same year as the expo. They're not going to have it next year. We don't know if there's going to be an expo the following year, but typically they've done it every other year. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, that one should be back in North America. They usually switch between North America and Europe. Yeah, I think their schedule are kind of messed up. So I think this is them going back to the odd years. I guess we don't know. Like you said, we don't know if the expo will stay on the even years and if they'll stay in Anaheim. Ever since they started, people are like, oh, well, they're going to do one in the East Coast next. And it's never happened. I mean, they do Destination D, which is now Destination D23, separate thing over on the West Coast or the East Coast, rather.
What is your hunch as to whether or as to when / if D23 Expo will return?
I guess probably 2024. I mean, it depends on when they have to announce.
Wait.
I hope that they kind of let that dictate what they do instead of locking themselves in. I feel like this time, like, well, we haven't had one in a while, so we need to do one. We don't have anything to talk about, or at least on the park side.
That's an interesting thought because they've done it every other year, COVID messing things up, and they would always announce the next one pretty much at the conclusion of the current one, right?
Yeah, and this time they said, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, so that got, and now this, I don't know,
Can I
I'm a
share
little worried.
some breaking-ish news?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit the thing. I just canceled my D23 membership I'm a day one founding member and decided during a recent purge of subscriptions that I was going to let that go because, first of all, when we go to the expos, you and I are just at the booth, so I don't really have a benefit there. I live I guess I could go to the Marceline event, but otherwise I don't go to the events and I don't read the magazine. So, and I'm not crazy about this year's member gift. So that was kind of the breaking point for me. So after, was it 12? No, more than 12 years. 14 years? Is that right? Did it start in 2009? After
Yeah.
14 years of membership, I ended it.
So you can't undo not being a charter member anymore, Kyle.
I
Are you
know.
sure you want to take that step?
What benefit is it getting me?
You're a charter member.
Exactly. And
What
so
if
when I get
next
to
year they
20
say,
years, maybe that few $100, I'll get like an extra
what
plaque or
if
something.
what if next year they say charter members get the exclusive opportunity to
And I'm sure
have
Benji
a
will get like 3 of them and he'll give me one.
Okay, so this is really just about your connections, not about what the expo is about. All right, well, thank you for that breaking news. That saddens me, although I'm no longer a charter member. We were members, but we let it lapse for a while, so we're not charter members anymore. And
I'm
now
no longer
I don't want this to
23,
happen to
Doobie.
you.
I'm 37.
You were 23 when you joined, probably.
I
That long
probably
ago.
was. I was about that. Nobody likes you when you're 23. I know you don't get that reference, but that's okay.
No, I don't. Did you know
I
that
probably was
D20?
23. If I'm 37 now, it's been 14 years. I was 23. That's amazing.
So when those banners started appearing, "Are you 23?" You're like, "Yeah, actually, I am. I am 23."
Funny you should ask.
Yeah, those are U23 banners. That's how Disney announced D23. They started putting are you 23 banners around the lot. And then we got sent a picture of them, and we were the first people to post them. It was a much smaller internet back then. And so we kind of got the ball rolling on D23.
I remember there was reports that people had spotted the magazine early at Barnes & Noble, so I went to my local Barnes & Noble and just spent like a half hour like making sure I wasn't missing it, looking for it. Like, yeah, the excitement. And then
I don't remember that.
Here I am.
Kyle wants benefits for saying he's the first, as opposed to just saying that he's the first. That is not a Disney fan talking. That is not how fandom works. Fandom, you just want to be first. You want to have everyone. I'm a little disappointed.
I also hate that you have to pay for the shipping. It's like a $99 thing, and then by the time you're done, it's like $130.
I mean, you make good points. This is the reason why you're a billionaire at the age of 30 years old.
I'm not a billionaire. If I were a billionaire, I could spend $130 to keep my membership.
See, you say that, but billionaires, this is how they become billionaires. They don't spend the $130. Yeah. I know this because I'm not a billionaire. I spend the $130. I know how this works. Did you know today is National California Day?
No, that's pretty funny. That sounds also kind of like an oxymoron.
I didn't think of that. So when you think of Disney in California, what comes to your mind, Kyle? This is one of the dumbest ones we've ever done.
California Adventure.
We have a very short show today. California Adventure?
That's probably the first thing I think of. Because it's got California in the name, you see.
So I understand that, but do you think of California Adventure as it is now, or California Adventure when it was really about California?
Them coming up with it, California is the idea, I think is what Eisner's quote is in Disney War. Yeah, I think of that. I also think of well, I guess I also think a little bit of the theme now, like 1923 and him coming to that whole story about him coming to Los Angeles for the first time. What do you want me to think?
Wait, is that where the 23 in California and D23 comes from?
Yes, the year that the studio was founded, 23, which is now the 100th anniversary. I don't know if you knew this. It's the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company.
I'm having an epiphany right now. Gio thinks of the Eureka Parade. I love the Eureka Parade.
I think of the guy with the Hollywood Bowl on his head.
That seems like your kind of guy. I don't know why, but that seems like your kind of. I could see you doing that role. Have you ever been in a parade?
Yes, I have been in an elementary school in the local. So in Chandler, Arizona, it used to be called Doodah Days. I think that was what it was for. We also had the Ostrich Festival, so it might have been that one. But yeah, I participated. And incidentally, Disney connection. My class marched to "Just Can't Wait to Be King." I was dressed up like a zebra and marched through downtown Chandler.
And you're authentic because you're white with black stripes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what zebra are. We've learned that on Kilimanjaro Safari. Was said on this day, but that is not how this works.
That's what he thinks of California. When he thinks California. I do like that show. That movie is a lot.
That was a great. Golden Dreams was fantastic, even though it had Whoopi Goldberg. It was fantastic.
Whoopi Goldberg is the best part about it. and she eats an apple to represent. But yeah, that's also the scene that they trim back slightly, right? I don't know how long
Yeah.
until they did that, but
Yeah, it was a little too graphic. They felt because there was a child involved, wasn't there?
yeah, I think it was a dad and son.
So
I
they cut
realized,
it short.
oh,
They let your imagination do the work, which is like 10 times worse for a lot of people. That was great. Golden Dreams was fantastic. People were disappointed it was just a movie instead of a full-on animatronic show like American Adventure, and that's a reason for disappointment. But it was fantastic.
do you remember Golden
History of film.
Screams?
I never saw it. I remember it, but I never saw it.
Same.
Yeah. Good, we're true Disney fans. All right. Pocket Pics. That's when I scour the internet for fun stuff, put it in my pocket, and show it to you. Here is our first one. This comes from Catherine Newton. Who's Catherine Newton, Kyle?
She is in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. She plays the new Cassie, the third Cassie in the MCU.
And she says, trying to play it cool
She was
isn't my
recasted.
thing.
There you are.
I think she's blonde in real life. She doesn't get recognized.
That's pretty fun.
This is cool. Wow.
That was brave. I hope you watched that beforehand because she could have said anything.
I did watch it. I do watch the Pocket Pics beforehand, yeah, and that's pretty cool. Seeing herself in the big display, no one else noticing her, which is pretty funny. And
I
she was
think
also
because she's blonde. I think if she was brunette right now, I think it'd be easier to make the connection.
And
No
she
pun
was
intended,
also
since she was in an airport.
someone asked her in the comments, "Wait, is she wearing pajamas?" She said, "Yes, I am in my poodle PJs." That's really funny. I've seen plenty of celebs in airports. Celebs in airports, for whatever reason, they just don't get a lot of attention. In my experience, they just kind of go about their business and no one cares. Could you imagine that scene with animatronics? I believe he's going back to Golden Dreams and the explode. Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Didn't Stitch do that one time? Explode. Remember hydraulic fluid on guests?
Ew. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Our next one, Kyle will like this one, I think. So the TikTok account is...
I can't tell if you're being serious or just filling. We'll find out.
This time I'm being serious. The TikTok account is, stop it, is Steph Couchhoud, but it seems to, I think, oh no, sorry, he did this with the Insta 360, but he did this. This is the Disneyland Paris. Kind of cool. Share the right tab. There you go.
That was intense.
That is amazing.
They do
Mack
serve
saw
alcohol
that.
in that park, so now I feel like I've had some of this.
Mike can be the VP of 360 for LP if he gets that. That's amazing. Yeah. And then finally, we have from Imbiggin, an Instagram this time. This one's a lot of fun. Make sure I got the audio on for it. It's also a perfect loop, so you can
That's
just watch
fantastic.
it forever. Oh my goodness. Shut up.
Did someone just bust a moo? Doobie's so mad. He's not even laughing at my bust a moo joke because it did sound like a cow on the
I
microphone.
couldn't hear your Bustaboo joke over this construction.
Fantastic. Do you have more pocket picks, or do you want to look at the day in Disney and I can try to talk about them?
That is the end of our pocket picks. We can get to this day in Disney. You know they're not supposed to be doing that, and they're just okay. We're just going to do it twice, get it over with before they can yell at us to stop. So, yeah,
Do they? Are you? Do we have that kind of like? We're doing a Disney news show. You're not allowed to do construction.
I mean, this is also a place of actual work getting done, not just a Disney news show. And Doobie does not like noise. That's one of Doobie's few quirks. I have a very, very easy, very few quirks, but that is one of them. I don't like noise. All right. On this day in Disney history, pretty short one today. Not a lot happened. I don't know why February 22nd was boring. Maybe people celebrating the 222. But one thing that did happen in 1954, one of Kyle's absolute favorite movies was featured on the cover of Life magazine, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and a feature called
How Disney I've never seen, one of my favorites.
How Disney Makes an Undersea Adventure. I'm sorry, an undersea movie. You can actually buy this on eBay. I do not know
because it's a Life magazine,
and it's cool. It has a bunch of black and white pictures showing how they created 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Kind
of cool. Of course, this is Life magazine from 1954. It was a different time. So that's not one of your favorite movies?
I've never seen it.
It's a whale of a tale.
I'm sure it's on Disney Plus.
You know,
I've been on the attraction, I think, a long time ago. I've been on the Tokyo Disney Sea version, and I've been on the Nautilus at DOP. But
I've seen it underwater at Castaway Cay.
Fair enough.
On this day in 1971, my age, Lea Salonga was born, the singing voice of Jasmine and Mulan.
Jasmine? What's with those V drums?
Those what?
The drums. They sound like electronic. They're very like 80s.
This is from the Oscars. She sang that live with Brad Kane at the Academy Awards in 1993. So that's more or less 80s. And there you go. And I don't know why you're making fun of the way I pronounce. What did I say? Jasmine?
Jasmine.
Jasmine? I don't hear a difference. Jasmine.
You want some Jasmine too?
That's like the guy from Beverly Hills Cop, Serge. Serge would say it. That's probably before your time. And finally, we only got one more today. On this day in 1996, a very, very important website launched. No, not Laughing Place, although I hope I don't forget to include that on August 1st.
August 1st, yeah.
But it was this one. Thank you.
Is it go.com?
Radio. It is Disney.com.
Oh. Not part of the Go Network yet, I guess.
So it launched in February. This is actually from December, so I don't know how different it was. This is from www.radio.com, great website and podcast, and Disney.com circa 1996. Does not look very mobile friendly, to be honest.
It's almost as if people couldn't access the internet on their phones back then.
Oh my goodness. My son just sent me the funniest thing that I have to send to Mack. I'm sorry.
Is this a bonus pocket pick? Oh, no. Okay.
It's not a bonus pocket pick, but it's funny.
Well, you're going to send it to me too. So.
Okay. Disney.com launched. That's it for this day in Disney history. It's kind of a boring day in Disney history.
Yeah, kind of surprising. Not even a decom to be found. But Benji's coming on, so who knows what that means.
Benji, is Benji coming on? Is he just sitting
there?
Well,
I mean, he's popped up in the green room. No,
yeah.
He's just...
That's all we got today, Kyle. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm taking a look to see if there's any breaking news on the Twitterverse before we wrap this up.
Yeah, I know we like to check the 10 o'clock top of the hour, but we're so far away from it, we may not have that option today. We are going to be live with the Walk and Talk at 11 from Animal Kingdom. So make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, select notifications, or watch laughingplace.com/TV. But yeah.
Oh, wow. That's okay. That's our cue. make sure to stay tuned to Laughing Place Television, laughingplace.com/TV. Ring the bell for notifications as well if you're on our YouTube channel right now. And you'll see if there is breaking news, you'll hear about it during the walk and talk later this afternoon at 11 Pacific. That's 2 p.m. East Coast. And if there's really, really big breaking news, we might even come back later after that. So you never know. So stay tuned to Laughing Place TV.